Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original crew? It's your boy DJ Nuki, your girl.
Sierra Nicole.
We back on the channel with another
Kid and C original.
Welcome back to the channel, man. Hey, today, man, we got 10 most wanted by the FBI. Yo, did you used to watch the America's Most Wanted? Mm-hmm. Your mama used to make you watch it.
Mm-mm.
Y'all just watched it together?
I just watched it. No, I just watched it. You.
Nah, that's some stuff my mom used to watch, and I'd be like, damn, bruh, go to sleep so I can get the remote. So with that being said, man, before we get into it, make sure you always check out the links in the description box down below. You already know where to go. If you want to further support, just check out the links in the description box down below. I'm dead serious, though. I used to be like, dang, mama, go to sleep so I can get the remote, man. You ain't about trying to watch no America's Most Wanted. But we got the 10 most wanted by the FBI. So we're going to learn something today, man. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and check it out. Let's see what it's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Number 10. Robert William Fisher. Robert William Fisher has been on the FBI's most wanted list since June of 2002 on suspicion of murdering his family and blowing up the house in which they lived in Scottsdale, Arizona. A Navy veteran, Fisher was described as controlling and cruel towards his family. On several occasions, his hunting partners reported disturbing behavior. This included Fisher smearing elk blood on his face after a hunt, as well as him sneaking up behind a family that was picnicking and emptying his gun into the air. Fisher's wife had reportedly made up her mind to divorce him. In the evening of April the 9th of 2001, neighbors reported hearing a loud argument in their home. Later, an ATM recorded Fisher making a withdrawal with his wife's car in the background. In the morning, the house exploded. Firefighters managed to control the 20-foot blaze before it spread. Inside the home, they found 3 badly burnt bodies. The children...
That's fucked up, bro.
That is so messed up.
Yo, that's just low down. That's like pure low down, bro.
Aged 12 and 10 had their throats slashed from ear to ear, while Fisher's wife had been shot in the back of the head. The gas line from the house's furnace had been disconnected, and a candle was used to ignite the gas as it accumulated, giving Fisher a 10-hour head start. While his whereabouts remain unknown, it's possible that Fisher was living off the land, since he was an avid outdoorsman, skilled in hunting and fishing. He's considered armed and extremely dangerous, with the FBI offering a reward of up to $100,000 for information leading to his arrest. Number 9. Alexis Flores. In the summer of 2000, a Philadelphia resident offered work, shelter, and clothing to a homeless drifter named Carlos. In August, the body of a missing toddler was found in an abandoned apartment building where Carlos was believed to be staying. 5-year-old Iriana de Jesus had been raped, strangled, and her lifeless body had been wrapped in a trash bag. A t-shirt, which Carlos's benefactor had given to him, was found near the victim, covered in her blood. The man was never found. A few years later, illegal immigrant Alexis Flores was arrested in Arizona after he presented fake identity documents to the authorities. A forgery device was found in his possession, which is a felony in the state. Flores' DNA was collected and introduced in a database. He spent 60 days in prison, and upon his release in 2005, was deported to Honduras. DNA evidence then connected Torres to the De Jesus crime scene, proving that he and Carlos were the same person. There have been no significant updates on his location ever since he was added to the FBI's most wanted list in 2007.
Man. He gone.
Number 8. Jason Derek Brown.
He either gone or came back with a whole... He constantly keeps changing his identity.
Wow.
Y'all ain't gonna never catch him.
And then he picked up on a little weight from the other one.
Yeah, so he's probably fat now.
For his luxurious lifestyle and image of wealth, Jason Derek Brown had allegedly operated check and bank fraud scams, as well as various other confidence schemes. He also owned 2 legitimate businesses out of his home in Salt Lake City, Utah, but had racked up considerable debt. In November of 2004, outside an AMC theater in Phoenix, a hooded gunman ambushed an armored car guard. 24-year-old Robert Palomares was shot 5 times in the head with a .45 caliber Glock semi-automatic handgun. He was later pronounced dead. The shooter fled the scene on a bicycle with a money bag containing $54,000. Fingerprints lifted from the scene linked Brown to the ambush murder, and the authorities considered his desperate financial situation as the motive. Additionally, prior to the shooting, Brown had purchased a .45 Glock and had taken firearm lessons. Even though the FBI has received hundreds of leads since his disappearance, Brown's whereabouts remain unknown. It's believed that he's hiding in plain sight in Salt Lake City's Mormon community, or that he's fled the country to France or Thailand.
Nah, he hiding in plain
Number
sight.
7. Yasir Abdel Said. Egyptian-American man Yasir Abdel Said was on the run from the FBI for 12 years after the brutal...
Hold on, my bad. I didn't even get your opinion. You think he hiding in plain sight?
I said I think he's hiding in plain sight. They said it in a Mormon community. I think
Yeah,
so.
like, who lives in Salt Lake City? Like for real, like who goes to Utah that you be like, oh yeah, they from Utah, you know what I'm saying? Or they go to travel to Utah.
Yeah.
7. Yasir Abdel Said. Egyptian-American man Yasir Abdel Said was on the run from the FBI for 12 years after the brutal honor killing of his daughters. Said had repeatedly beaten and sexually abused Amina and Sarah. They were terrified of him as he was extremely controlling of their lives and would constantly threaten to kill them. He reportedly felt they dishonored the family by refusing to adhere to Islam and traditional Egyptian behavior. When she was only 16, Amina was taken to Egypt by Said for an arranged marriage to a much older friend of his. Amina refused the proposal and instead started dating an American teenager named Joseph Moreno. The two had made plans to run away together, get married in Las Vegas, and start a new life. Moreno had dropped out of high school to make money and help Amina escape her father. Said became aware of the relationship, and even though he brutally beat Amina, she never gave up Moreno's name. After Christmas in 2006, the sisters and their mother ran away to live with some of Moreno's relatives in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Said subsequently convinced his wife that he'd forgiven Amina and Sarah, claiming that he wanted them to return home. On January the 1st of 2008, he took the girls in the back seat of his taxi, kissed them, and said they were going to get something to eat. Said then pulled out a gun and fatally shot them both. Sarah had managed to call 911 before she died, screaming, "Help, my dad shot me, I'm dying, I'm dying." The man then fled and remained missing for over a decade. Said is the only fugitive on the FBI's most wanted list to have recently been captured. On August the 26th of 2020, SWAT teams arrested him without incident in Justin, Texas.
Wow.
He was living in Texas this whole time.
The reason why that one, I'm just like, I could just feel, because I heard the call.
Oh yeah. I remember that
call,
one.
and I was just like,
But the fact that he lived, and to be honest, that is probably the best way to do it. You have to cut off the people you already knew, but to live in plain sight instead of try to hide. If you live in plain sight but cut off everybody you once knew, that's the way most of them like really be escaping and staying on the run for so long. Like, remember that dude, that black guy that had escaped from prison, was on the run for 40 years before he had a whole new family.
Yeah, I remember that. He got married.
He got married
to the woman. She
changed
had
his name,
no idea.
had whole kids
Yep.
because he cut off his family from, and he had to move on with his life.
That's crazy.
Number 6. Badrishkumar Chetanbhai Patel. In April of 2015, Badrishkumar Chetanbhai Patel and his wife Palak had traveled from India and were visiting relatives in the US. The couple, both in their 20s, were working the night shift at a Dunkin' Donuts in Maryland, which was owned by one of Patel's relatives. They had a violent argument in the kitchen, as Patel wanted them to stay in the US and Palak planned on returning to India. The man is believed to have brutally beaten his wife and stabbed her to death with a large kitchen knife. Surveillance footage would later show Patel fleeing the scene. Palak's body was found when customers who'd been waiting to be served alerted a passing police officer. The last time Patel was ever seen was on the morning of April the 13th of 2015 at Newark Penn Station in New Jersey. The authorities believed that he may have returned to India, or even more likely that he's still hiding with relatives in the US.
They got him hiding. They gotta have him
because he didn't want to even go back.
He didn't want
to. So why would you kill your wife and then flee back? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah.
That don't make sense. And it's so crazy that these happened not too long ago.
Yeah, this was just 2015. But the fact he killed her and customers was there.
And then
Number 5, Alejandro Castillo. Alejandro Castillo was placed on the FBI's most wanted list in October of 2017, a year prior when he was 17 years old. Castillo was working at a North Carolina restaurant alongside 22-year-old Truquan Sandy Lai Lee that briefly dated, and Lee had sent Castillo some money. In August of 2016, Castillo told Lee to meet him at a convenience store so that he could pay back what he owed her. He was driven to the meeting spot by his new girlfriend, Amia Feaster, aged 19. Once they arrived, it's believed that Castillo pulled out a gun and forced Lee to withdraw all the money from her account. Lee was then driven to a wooded area in Cabarrus County, where Castillo fatally shot her in the head. The teenager and Feaster afterwards crossed the border into Mexico. Feaster subsequently turned herself in to Mexican authorities. While on the run for the previous months, they'd been staying with Castillo's cousins in Aguas Calientes. However, at some point, Castillo disappeared and was never seen again. Number 4.
But
he either dead or because she was too young. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm about to say, to be real, if I was in that situation, I think I probably would have. If I knew, like, if I couldn't get away, when we was where was they originally at? Like when he killed the ex-girlfriend. What I'm trying to say is, if I knew that I could not escape him, I probably would have fled with him too, just because I would have been scared. I don't know what mental
then
state
she turned herself into the police.
And then I would have, I probably would have did the same thing just so I can escape death, because I don't know what you want.
Or
I do know what you want, but
to be honest, they probably plotted that together though.
And she probably felt guilty.
Yeah,
I can see that too. I don't know. I just couldn't.
Rafael Caro Quintero. The FBI is currently offering $20 million for information leading to the direct capture.
He may be.
Hey, where you at? Hey, I need that. I need 20 minutes. I need that. I snitch.
When was this?
I'm a snitch. I'm gonna go and let him. I'm gonna go tell it, bro.
The FBI is currently offering $20 million for information leading to the direct capture of drug kingpin Rafael Caro Quintero. It's the highest value of all the fugitives on its list. Nicknamed the Narco of Narcos, Caro Quintero is the founder and suspected leader of the Caborca cartel. He also co-founded the notorious Guadalajara cartel, an organization which in the 1970s shipped enormous amounts of marijuana and cocaine into the US. Caro Quintero was responsible for the 1985 kidnapping, torture, and murder of DEA undercover agent Enrique Kiki Camarena.
My bad. I'm not snitching. Y'all keep that 20 mil. Hey, bro.
And this is why ain't nobody in the gang. Ain't nobody messing with
No,
and then you
my bad, bro. I'm just playing.
Then you murder Kiki. No.
I'm just playing, bro. I would never tell on you, man. Don't come for me. I don't.
Murder of DEA undercover agent Enrique Kiki Camarena. He's also wanted in direct connection with at least 3 other murders. For his crimes, Caro Quintero was arrested in Costa Rica and extradited to Mexico, where he was sentenced to 40 years in prison. However, the drug lord was released in 2013 when a state court concluded he'd been tried improperly. Corruption was suspected, and due to pressures from the US federal government, a Mexican federal court issued another arrest warrant. However, as of November 2020, Caro Quintero remains at large. Number 3, Arnaldo Jimenez. On May the 11th of 2012, Arnaldo Jimenez and Estrella Carrera got married at Chicago City Hall. That night, they went clubbing with friends. They left the nightclub at about 4 a.m. and got into a heated argument during the drive back. While they were in his 2006 Maserati, Jimenez is believed to have stabbed Carrera multiple times. The woman's body was then dragged into her apartment and abandoned in the bathtub. still wearing the dress she'd donned at the wedding.
Whoa.
In September of 2012, Jimenez's brother was arrested at his home for drug trafficking. The police searched the house and discovered Jimenez's Maserati inside the man's garage. Blood was found in the car. It's believed that Jimenez was driven to Mexico, where he's still hiding out to this day.
Wow.
Today's topic was requested by Dave Mader Jr. If you have any other topics you'd like to learn about, subscribe and let us know in the comments section below. Number 2.
Yo,
They had just what?
He had to been on that bottle and some snap.
He had to been on more than just that. There's no
Eugene
way,
Palmer.
or just crazy.
Oh yeah, hate.
John Palmer, his wife Tammy, and their 2 children lived at a property in Stony Point, New York. The land was owned by Palmer's father, Eugene, who lived next door to them. Tammy and John started having marital problems, and the woman filed for a restraining order against him. Tammy also threatened to sue for ownership of Eugene's land. In the morning of September the 24th of 2012, the woman walked her 2 children to the school bus. As she returned home, Eugene ambushed her from a wooded path and fatally shot her in the chest with a shotgun. Palmer fled the scene in a pickup truck, which was later found abandoned. Palmer has never been found, but the FBI suspects he might be hiding with relatives in Florida or in upstate New York.
He ain't got that
Number
beard
1.
none.
Jose Rodolfo Villarreal Hernandez. Jose Rodolfo Villarreal Hernandez was one of the leaders of the Beltran Leyva cartel based in Mexico. Villarreal Hernandez's father had been killed by the Gulf Cartel, a rival criminal organization. Juan Jesus Guerrero Chapa was a lawyer for the rival cartel, whom Villarreal Hernandez viewed as personally responsible for his father's death. In May of 2013, Guerrero was already living in the US as an FBI informant. Villarreal Hernandez hired 2 gunmen, identified only as Clorox and Captain, to assassinate Guerrero. The informant was tracked down to Southlake, Texas. The assassins pulled up to his car while Guerrero was out shopping with his wife.
Wow.
The woman was unharmed, but Guerrero was shot and killed. The gunmen were never found. Villarreal Hernandez remains at large, presumably still hiding in Mexico. A $1 million reward is being offered for information leading to his capture. Thanks for watching.
Crazy.
Would you rather have $50,000 or a real get-out-of-jail-free card?
A real get out of jail free card. Cause I don't care what. Well, I don't break no laws anyway. So give me the 50.
What am I be in jail for?
Give me the 50. I ain't doing nothing legal. Give me the 50.
Oh man,
Hey, man.
that is crazy.
That is beyond like,
Wow.
yo.
Wow.
In fact, one of them been caught though.
One of them have, yeah.
And that one
And
just
it's just
was caught
recently, 2020, just last year.
just last year. But he had been on a run for about a decade.
That's crazy.
And he killed his own kids.
That's,
Both of them.
yeah.
Man, that you and your little creature. Man, but y'all go ahead. Make sure y'all spam us up in the comment section down below. Let us know what else we should react to so we can make sure we bring it over here, man. But as always, y'all know how it go. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
You are?
Get it.
We are, y'all.
Ain't no time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar, 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 dollar.